Have you ever imagined a planet so fast that you barely blink and it's already completed another year? What if I told you that the smallest planet in our solar system is also one of the speediest, zipping along at an incredible 48 kilometers per second? Get ready, because we're about to dive into the secrets of Mercury, the little speedster of the stars. Why is it so fast? What does its size have to do with it? And how does this amazing speed help us learn more about our own solar system? Stick with me until the end of this video to find out how Mercury, despite being tiny, makes history among the giants of space. Mercury is the planet closest to the Sun. Picture the solar system like a giant carousel, with the Sun right in the center as the main pole. Each planet has its own row spinning around it, like the little horses on a ride. Mercury is in the spot closest to the Sun, right in the innermost row, as if it's got a front row seat next to the pole. Because of this, the track it follows around the Sun is much shorter than the other planets, and that's why it finishes its lap so quickly. Now think of a racetrack stadium. The runners, who start closer to the inside of the track, have a shorter loop to run. Mercury's like that runner on the innermost lane, while planets like Earth and Jupiter are on the outer lanes, needing to cover a much bigger distance to complete their laps. So, even though it's small and fast, Mercury gets through a whole year way quicker than the bigger, farther out planets. Plus, being so close to the Sun means Mercury feels its gravity and energy more intensely. It's like being tugged by a super short rope. This closeness makes it a planet that doesn't just orbit faster, but also lives in a zone where temperatures and gravitational forces are wildly different from what we know on Earth. In a way, Mercury gives us a glimpse of what it's like to live right next to a star. Fast movements, short paths, but a life full of extremes. It's super fast on the wheel. Imagine Mercury's got a turbocharged car racing around a special track circling the Sun. Its speed is mind-blowing, like a space rocket that never slows down. Mercury zooms through space at about 48 kilometers per second. To put that into perspective, think about this. A passenger plane cruising through Earth's skies tops out at around 900 kilometers h. Mercury, though, it's clocking nearly 175,000 kilometers h. It's like a lightning bolt streaking around the Sun. This speed comes from being so close to the Sun, where it feels a super strong gravitational pull. That forces Mercury to move crazy fast to avoid getting yanked back into the star. It's like when you swing a bucket of water around, the water doesn't spill because you're spinning it fast enough. Mercury's in this cosmic dance where its incredible speed keeps it in orbit, perfectly balanced between the Sun's gravity and its own momentum. Mercury's speed also means that while other planets are still chugging along on their long, slow laps, Mercury's already crossing the finish line again and again. Compared to them, it's like Mercury's the fastest athlete in an endless race, always in the lead, always lapping the competitors on bigger, farther tracks. That jaw-dropping speed is one reason it finishes its year so fast. It just doesn't waste any time on its trip around the Sun. Why does Mercury's year last only 88 days? Think of a planet's year as the time it takes to make one full loop around the Sun. For Mercury, the path it travels around the star is way shorter than Earth's because it's much closer in. Plus, Mercury's insanely fast, almost like a race car with a souped-up engine. The result? It finishes its orbit, or year, way quicker. While Earth takes 365 days to circle the Sun, Mercury does it in just 88 days. Imagine the Sun as a big bonfire in the middle of a field, with the planets as runners circling it. Mercury's on the inside track, so its loop is much shorter, and it runs way faster than the others, so it hits the finish line sooner. This short year is also tied to the Sun's gravitational pull, which is super strong because of how close Mercury is. That forces it to zip along to stay in orbit. If it slowed down, it might get sucked into the Sun. So it's like Mercury's always sprinting at top speed to stay in the game. That's why Mercury's year lasts just 88 Earth days. It's so close to the Sun and moves so fast that it wraps up its orbit in the blink of an eye. It's a planet of quick laps and super short years, making it one of the nimblest bodies in our solar system. Its tiny size helps with speed. Mercury's a little guy. In fact, it's the smallest planet in our solar system. Picture it as the lightest runner in a race. With less weight to carry, it can speed up more easily. Mercury's only slightly bigger than our moon, making it way smaller than giants like Jupiter or even Earth. This compact size, combined with its closeness to the Sun, helps it move so fast. When we compare Mercury to bigger planets like Earth, we see they need more energy to move because they're more massive. It's like comparing a small light car to a huge truck. The little car can accelerate fast and switch directions easily. Mercury's that small car in space, agile and quick as it races along its orbit. Plus, being smaller means Mercury feels the sun's pull more intensely since it's so close. Think of the sun as a giant magnet. Mercury's so near and so light that it flies around at high speed to avoid getting dragged in. This balance between its tiny size and blazing speed makes it one of the fastest planets out there. So, Mercury's small stature is a big reason it can zip around so quickly. It doesn't have much mass to haul, so it races along its orbit like a lean, swift runner on an inside track, finishing its years at a pace that feels lightning fast compared to other planets. Extreme temperatures because of its proximity, being so close to the sun, comes with a price. Mercury, nearer to the star than any other planet, faces temperatures that are hard to even wrap your head around. During the day, its surface can hit over 400 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt some metals. That's because the sun is so close that its rays blast Mercury with way more intensity than they do Earth. But at night, Mercury flips to extreme cold. Temperatures can plummet to 180 degrees Celsius or lower. This wild swing from hot to freezing happens because Mercury has almost no atmosphere to hold the day's heat when night falls. On Earth, our atmosphere acts like a blanket, keeping temperatures more stable. On Mercury, without that blanket, the sunlit side roasts while the dark side freezes. If you could stand on Mercury, pretend that's possible, you'd see how the heat and cold shift dramatically depending on where you are and the time. While the sun's up, you couldn't even touch the ground without burning. When it sets, the cold would be so intense it'd freeze anything in minutes. These extreme conditions make Mercury a totally different world from what we're used to. It's not just fast and small, it's a place of insane contrasts where daytime's a furnace and nighttime's a deep freezer, all thanks to its closeness to the sun and lack of an atmosphere to balance things out. How Mercury sees the sun. Imagine you're on Mercury looking up at the sky. The sun would look way bigger and brighter than it does from Earth. That's because Mercury's so much closer. To give you an idea, the sun takes up almost 3 times more space in Mercury's sky than it does in ours. It'd be this huge, blinding circle, almost like a dazzling spotlight. And since Mercury orbits the sun so fast, the sun seems to cross the sky differently. On Earth, the sun rises and sets in a day. On Mercury, the motion feels slower, but because it's so close, the light's so strong, it'd make everything glow intensely. It's like Mercury's got a VIP seat to the solar system's most stunning show. A year on Mercury is short, but the days are long. Time on Mercury works way differently than on Earth. While it finishes a year in just 88 Earth days, the time it takes to spin on its axis, what we call a day, is much longer, about 59 Earth days. That means while it whips around the sun super fast, its rotation is so slow that a solar day on Mercury feels almost endless. Picture Mercury as a speedy runner on a track who's also spinning in slow motion. While it racks up years quickly, the sun takes forever to rise and set on the horizon. It's a weird twist, short years that zip by and days that drag on like they'll never end.